Hey everybody, it is Wednesday, which means it's Dagon time. So we're on to week 2. The lighting looks weird, I'm sorry, but I guess I'm not really here to look good. So week 2 is how I came out, and yeah. So I guess I came out a few times. So in my last video I was talking about coming out as a lesbian first when I was, I think, 17 or 18 or something like that, and I did that to my mom. I did that in a letter, because I'm way better at expressing myself in writing than I am verbally. So I told my mom in a letter that I was a lesbian, and I never really came out, I guess, as a lesbian. Besides that, it was always kind of oh, this is my girlfriend so and so, this is my girlfriend so and so. For the rest of my family, I'm pretty sure they know. I mean, I didn't actually tell really the rest of my family, but my girlfriends would come to family events and stuff like that, so that was okay, I guess. That experience coming out was, I don't know, it was fine. I mean, I was so nervous before, of course. With, I think, any coming out, you're gonna be nervous, fear of rejection and stuff like that. And I definitely had that. And then, as far as coming out as trans, that was kind of a really long process for me. Even to come out to myself as trans. I heard the word trans in college. I think I said that in my last video too, and then I was like, oh my god, that's me. So I knew that inside, that was me. And so I don't think it really came up again until I graduated college. I went to a very, very small college. I'd say pretty conservative, and it was 90-something% men. Yeah, and so I really just wanted to finish school and get out of there, and I didn't want to deal with any, I didn't need to come out as trans, I felt on that campus especially. So I didn't, and then I got my first job, which happened to be at a group home for teenagers who self-identify as GLBTQ, all the letters, and it was there that I started identifying as Dagon and with male pronouns. It sort of started out as a nickname thing, and then it stuck. I presented it as a nickname thing, I think, in my own, as my own cover up for really wanting that to be my name. So again, I didn't at that time, so I'm talking 22 years old when I got my first real job after college. I didn't come out as trans. I never came out. I don't know, this is hard for me because I never came out to anyone at that time, for a long time, as trans. I just kind of identified as male, if that makes any sense at all. And I think that the reason that I was able to do that was because of my environment. So I worked full-time at the group home, and even though I was looking female, I hadn't started T. Everyone there respected my name and my pronouns, and that was really just lucky for me, I guess, because it was a GLBT specific program. So I worked there for 5 years. So 22 to 27, I guess. Or I still actually work there per diem. I haven't worked a shift in a while, but yeah. So I was Dagon and he for a long time. Well, the whole time I was at that job since college, after college. And then when I was getting ready to leave there, I applied for a job and interviewed as Dagon, even though my I hadn't changed anything. I hadn't started hormones. I just asked. I wrote on my resume Dagan and everything, even though it's not my legal name. And so then when they asked for my ID, it came up that wasn't my name, my legal name. And so I explained to them that I go by the name Dagan, and that was fine. At that time, I didn't ask anyone to call me he, and I didn't ask them to call me she. I just wanted to be called Dagan. That was like the most important thing for me. And so for a while at this job, my current job, which was, I've been there a little over a year, I've always been known as Dagan, but I was also called she for a while. And then so I started there in February last year, and then in August of last year is when I decided that I wanted to like go through with a medical transition after 8 years of therapy. So I started doing all that, like talking to my therapist about getting a letter and everything like that. And when I knew that everything was going to work out and I was going to start taking testosterone, I wrote another letter to my mom to come out after talking with another family member, and she said that she thought my mom would be accepting, but it would be hard at first, etc., etc., etc. So I came out to my mom in a letter, and it was hard at first. I took a long time to write the letter, and revised it so many times and asked people what they thought about it. I sent it out to a lot of close friends, and yeah, so I came out to my mom in a letter, and she said that she knew all along, like since I came out as a lesbian, that something was weird or whatever, but that even though she knew what the letter was about before I gave it to her, it didn't make it any easier to read. Totally understandable. So then after I came out to my mom, I started coming out to other people and my family, and I came out at my work, my coworkers all, so this is all like August time frame. My coworkers and the rest of my family, I kind of like, depending on my current relationship with them, I like sent them email or I called them or whatever. And at work, I told a few people at a time that I was going to be starting to transition, and then eventually like told everyone, and my work has been really awesome and respectful, and I mean they mess up occasionally, like with the pronouns, especially at first, but I mean it's not bad intentioned at all. My mom is also the same way. I mean I can't judge anyone for like messing up a pronoun, especially for people who have known me before I was asking to be called he. So my coming out was, I guess, better than I expected, because I feel like if I just expect the worst, which would be like, I don't know, my family doesn't want to talk to me anymore, or I get fired from my job, or whatever, you know, like if I just expect the worst, then whatever happens is either what I expected or better than that. I know that's not really a positive way to look at things, but I feel like that's the reality for a lot of people when they come out as trans, or even gay, lesbian, bi, everything else. So that was my coming out story. So that was all in August, and now it's, I don't know, it's June, almost been a year, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, I guess that is my coming out story, although I feel like you can't just come out like once, so throughout the rest of my life, I will like have to decide if I'm going to come out to somebody or not. I could live stealth, or I could tell people, or whatever. So I mean, I could have many more coming out stories, but those were like my first coming out stories, especially like to family and the people closest to me. So that is my story. My family is way cool, and my coworkers are way cool, and my girlfriend knew I was trans way before medical transition, and that is also great. So that's my coming out story. Give me feedback if you have any. Ask me questions if you have any. And that's it.